All right. Hey, brothers, what's up? I've had better days. This is the Reluctant Nobby. Um, man, it's a sad day for me. All right. One of the brothers from the airport. Matter of fact, he was one of the first ones that I met. All right. The first ones that I talked to when I got out there. He started doing very, very well. All right. I mean, really well for himself and his family. The difference there is this. When we're talking about people in this area, when we're talking about people in Brazil, generally what's happening is many of them that have children, many of the brothers that have children, they start looking for honest work to try to really take care of family. See, they understand that, and this is something that people don't understand. They really don't understand. There is no money. There is no real money in the drug game. I want y'all to understand this. There is no real money in the drug game. Period. It's something that the brothers in Brazil realize. All right. It's something that they realize. So when a child comes into the picture, one of the things they decide to do is go to work. See if they can make some legit money. All right. And that's basically it. They're looking for legit money. And the reason why they're looking for that legit money, because drug money ain't legit. People, when you see these dudes with stacks talking about, yeah, look at what I'm making, right? They ain't really making SH. It's a cyclical trap. The drug game is. If they were really happy with what they're making, right? If these guys was just making it big like that, the first thing they would do is leave the drug game. All right? That's why it's a trap. You don't ever see these guys leave the drug game. Let's talk about Nipsey Hussle, right? Nipsey Hussle did not leave the drug game. Think about this. He was still tied to the gangs that he grew up with. As a matter of fact, they were mainly the people he was trying to benefit and help. He wasn't trying to help nobody like me. All right, understand this. Nipsey Hussle wasn't trying to help brothers like me. The dude bled blue first. And it is what it is. Right? It is what it is, right? In Brazil, what happened is these dudes start having these children. And so what makes those guys different at the airport that you see me with. All right, they get on a different type of hustle. That's why I like helping them. All right, usually in the United States, a lot of these guys are using the female, the black female, for their come-ups. That's the only thing she's worth. All right, them guys, they get with somebody, that baby come out. Now they trying to support that baby, buy stuff. Still living in the dangerous environment, this, that, and the other. So I'm in school today, about a couple hours ago, maybe an hour ago, and I get message on my Facebook, and one of the other brothers. So everything is tight knit. Let me say this. I could do a few things in Brazil. All right, with the brothers. Look, all the poor people at the airport, right? I could do a few things. One of the things that I could do, if I have some money for somebody, all right, I'll put it to you like this. I'll usually give one person a big chunk of money. I have already picked them out, right? But I'll give one person a big chunk of money for everybody, because I don't have the time to make change to give everybody pieces. And I said, they like, man, we want to go get something from the pizza shop, right? So hold on, let me know. So what I do is I can give money to one person, and that one person will share it with everybody. They will get together as a group, go to the pizza shop or wherever they want to eat with the money that I gave them, buy what they want to buy, and everybody within his group will do that. When I took the shoes there, right? When I took the shoes there, the guy that got killed yesterday, he got a job at the airport. I mean, a legit bona fide job. He started off as one of the guys hustling to shine shoes. All right. Then he parlayed that into a job where So, he gets a legit job, right? At the airport. All right. And he is basically how I got tied into the other brothers, right? I kind of met him first. All right. And then I met all the rest of the brothers through this guy. All right. So basically, when I go to Brazil, we hang as brothers. So I could give any one of them something for the other. And whatever I give them for the other person to get it. I'll be like, where is Matthews? That was his name. Oh, he ain't here. I got his shoes. All right. So I just give it to any one of them, and they'll make sure he gets it. A lot of these guys don't live in the same place, and they will make sure the other guy gets it when they see him, when they come back to work, right? No matter what I give them. I will say this. If these guys think that I'm going to be harassed by the taxi drivers that want what I give to the guys that's hustling, all right, they will sit, or if they don't trust anybody that's around me. Understand this. We talking about the poor folk, right? If they don't trust the people that's around me, right, they will sit with me until my plane, till I get ready to check in, and go to the back for my plane to leave. They will just sit and talk, a few of them. All right? when I arrive, I don't have to worry about carrying nothing. They got this. All right, so it's a really, really sad day for me. I usually would stay around after school, talk to the professor about some concepts for an assignment that I have. And it is the first real time in my life that I felt real loss. See, the people of Brazil will do that to you. The only other people that there's a few guys from the channel and the fellas that we meet up in Brazil. All right, but these folks in Brazil act like human beings. All right, especially if you're a black man. I mean, let's just keep it real. If you are referred to as a black man, they love you over there. If you come over there not trying to start no SH. I will watch shows like Locked Up Abroad, and basically what you see is thug-like females, black females coming down there. I'm like, how you get locked up abroad in Brazil? You don't want that kind of jail. Try to get tied up in their drug industry. You don't want that. You don't want that kind of heat. The Brazil is not the place for people that cannot control their inhibitions when it comes to putting chemicals in your body. You do not want that kind of heat. Period. First of all, you don't want to mess with that Amazon rainforest kind of stuff because you don't know how it might affect you. All right. And these guys, every chance they have to turn their life around to something legit, they'll try to take it. In the programs, some of the guys that go in that used to be hustlers, right? So they start NGOs too. I need to get in contact with some of those guys. So they start NGOs too. All right. And the stat is this. For the males and females that get caught up in the gang, that grow up in these gangs, that grow up in these things, fighting the police and the military. It's why I call these little wimps over here, these single black woman raised wimps. Wimps. All right. Now, we have always had the underbelly of the community. But the underbelly of the community was not as destructive to the community as these guys are. In other words, you ran a risk if you were around the people that did all the illicit things. All right. But if you weren't in that mix, then you were relatively safe. Okay, I want y'all to understand that. If you were not in that mix, the mix of back in the day, as a matter of fact, they would put you to the side if they didn't think you belonged. They're like, son, you don't want this. You go home, get in them books, study. That's what the old school hustlers used to do in the United States. I know this because I was homeless in the streets. Came out of the orphanage into the streets. When I went back home on leave, most of my friends were dead already when I was in the military. It was old school cats that was in the army, and they didn't paint the army as a good picture though. But they said the benefits. These cats, they said, brother, you're smart. My nickname was the professor. They say, brother, you're smart. All right. You You need to go into the army. They understood that Afro men did not have much of a future at that time, especially if you were raised in the streets. When I went in to the military, I had no GED or high school diploma. I had college. That's how I got in. Yes, I went to college with no GED. It's a part of my military record. All right. It was easy because if you tested high enough and all those acceptance, whatever kind of test, you know, it's assumed that you were in. Now, sooner or later, when you need to get a official degree plan, that stuff will creep back up. All right. But these cats used to tell us, if you were smart, they used to prevent you from doing what they do. All right. And it's kind of how it was back in our day when we had men in the community. All right. When men could instruct. Now you got a community run by a bunch of bees that think they're God and the best thing to nothing. All right. Raising their children to be. And I want y'all to understand this. And when I say no guts, I'm saying this. That these guys fight the military. So when they told me today that one of us was killed, and that's how I feel like. It was like one of us was killed. Right? Because they made me a part of the group. Right? My question in my head was it the police or someone else? First thing that came to my head. What was it, in a battle with the police or something else? Understand how I say that? Was it in a battle with the police or something else? Not like these weak Negroes over here that go up and do drive-bys on houses and end up killing children and laying in the bed trying to do homework. You know, that's the system that the black woman in the United States created, where you get a bunch of people that don't want to face each other. You put one white cop, have them walk through the community. Them dudes are just escaping like roaches. You know, it's crazy. It is really, really crazy. To see the difference between us here and them there, and the first time in my life felt like I had a loss. And then I start thinking about it. Why do I feel like it's a loss? It's a dude in another country. Why that I met, and I've known less than I know people in the United States. And so I'm like dealing with that. Why? I'm trying to figure out, why is it that I have a loss? Why do I feel a loss? And this is what hits me today. I feel a loss because more so than any part of time in my life, with the exception of one other case in a place called Bell Vernon, all right, I was made part of a group and considered family. Not by words. I'm talking like how people treated me. That's why I feel a loss. I feel the loss because people weren't rolling around, yeah, fam, yeah, fam. People actually was treating me like family. And yeah, I give a lot of stuff, but you know why I gave a lot? Me to Brazil, they treat them like family. And, all right, y'all, that's how deep this is. That's how deep this is. And so I couldn't figure out why would a death of somebody that we met up at the airport, and from day one, they called me brother from day one. But they didn't just call me brother from day one. I'm just telling you what it is. I'm just telling you, I understand the differences. They didn't just call me brother from day one. They meant it. They treated you like a brother. Now, I want you to understand this. My relationships in Brazil have been, regardless of the problems, were still longer lasting in that you were able to have one in Brazil. Understand this. Oh yeah, there's game, but the game is the normal male-female game. You know, it ain't somebody trying to really do some damage. All right, it isn't that. It is that isn't that. All right. It's good where people appreciate what you do. So what I do in Brazil is appreciated. So what I do in Brazil is appreciate. When I take all that money there, when I take all the balls there, it's appreciated. Over here, people think they're owed. And then when you do it, you get looked upside your head. All right? That's what it is. But yeah, I feel a sense of loss that he was killed. But that's what it is. That's how it's like that for black males everywhere. Brazil, here, everywhere. Yeah, see, Mimi. Está muito triste. Muito triste. All right. So, again, these are guys that were hospitable first. They were welcoming first. And the sad part is that their situation is more untainable than ours is here. And I can't how I can't give nobody here anything to give to anyone. Be able to do that. Be like, man, I got something for a brother, but I ain't going to see him, and it's a lot of money.